Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start. Hello and welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie. I'm your host Shae Zombie and I'm here with the super talented, amazing Eric. I'm not saying the last name. You can't make me.
How's it going?
It's going great. So we're here because you have a book that is already funded, which is super awesome, called Shadow Sentry Book 1 Into the Eternal.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to tell us all about it. So I'm going to bring up your campaign. You go ahead and go with your pitch.
Cool. The quick pitch is simply it's an X-Men meets the Matrix superhero team book with a supernatural twist and very highly 90s inspired. I got into comics around the 90s, so I love all the 90 era comics. So has that style, has that flair, but basically I wanted to create a new world with superheroes. And they're not born with them. They actually have near-death experiences. And when they travel into the other realm, into the other side, the eternal, I call it, and they return, they bring back pieces of it with them. And then they have these supernatural paranormal abilities in our world. And so you have the highborn and you have the hellborn. And so in the midst of the first story arc, we find this boy, Jason, who is a hellborn and a highborn hybrid. So both sides are at him and them on their side, because they know he has some amazing abilities. They're going to be the one to save the war, the one to lead the war against it. So that is the quick pitch for you.
Wow. That is crazy. So I'm assuming this is Jason right here.
That's him. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Jeez. I love this cover. Like, just kind of looking at everything that's going on. Because I wasn't entirely sure what his deal was, but I figured it was probably something pretty intense considering what the cover looks like. But I love this idea of like the way that you kind of drew your demons, and so they're really just looking just gnarly and evil, and red pointy teeth, pointy ears, like just like what you would stereotypically think of. And looking at them just kind of clawing down, and then you just see like these fucking awesome badass. I love it when you have like angelic creatures that aren't just floating on a cloud or covered in gauze. Like my tattoo. My tattoo is a seraphim. She's got a broadsword and she has underboob with a giant like chest plate. Like that is more what they should be to me.
So exactly.
This is awesome.
Good. And okay, I know you can't see it too well, but like their faces are kind of like pitch black with like stars in them, and they have like lightning eyes. So I wanted to make them more intimidating. So
oh, wow. Oh, that's really cool. So it's like they've got like a whole universe inside their mask almost.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Sweet.
Okay, so just to let people see a couple of these badass pages that you have here. Like I'm actually shocked. I don't know how I haven't heard of this sooner. Like I'm very confused with as badass as this looks and as gorgeous as this art is. How in the hell have I not heard of this sooner?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly, I kind of been around for maybe like a year or so. I did a little a little Inktober sketchbook for Indiegogo. So that was my first campaign, just kind of get my feet wet. And then I just, came out with this bad boy. But this is, it's been stewing in my brain for a long time. So it's been about a year in the making.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you just kind of quietly came onto the scene as far as I saw. That's insane. Awesome. So do you want to go any more into the story? Like I need to know what her deal is, because she looks part Harley and part like evil schoolgirl Katana, and I'm really confused. And
yeah, her name is Hopscotch. She's a teleporter, and she basically creates portals with her hands. But I wanted her to have the schoolgirl look, and just the idea of jumping and. So yeah, I thought Hopscotch was a good name for her. So that's why she has that Harley Quinn attitude, but she's also good with a sword.
Nice. That I really like this cover. I think this is really cool. So you actually have a couple different
variant
covers that are available. So this one was done by Kevin Sharp.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And then we got this one that is done by Mike Miller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're all colored by the same guy, so they all kind of have a good flow.
Okay. I was gonna say I feel like they're all they're a little bit cohesive for it being done by a bunch of different artists, but that would make sense.
Yeah. Yep. I have this colorist. He's amazing. So I was like, dude, I'd love you to color all my covers. So he agreed. And so that one there, that's the promo art. So that's like the first full team shot that I've done. That's in the Inktober 2018 book. So it's been around for a while. So I didn't want to have it be a cover, but you can get it in other perks. It's a poster that everyone's going to get because it's a stretch goal. So we passed 12,000. So everybody's going to get a poster if they back. And yeah. So cool. And then the one cover, Matthew Weldon, he did a cover as well. So it looks amazing too.
I think that one was
that would have been the first one, I believe. Yeah, that one there.
Which one? Sorry.
Go down a little bit. There it is. Yeah.
Gotcha. I really like the kind of like lens flary effect and everything that you have going here with all of this. It sells that kind of like holy light power kind of thing.
Yeah. Matthew did this cool, like almost like cross-looking thing coming out of Glaire's hand, and it works really good. So
yeah, it looks badass. This is, for everyone who can't tell, this is who I tried to cosplay. It was this beautiful blonde bombshell that I did a real terrible job today. So I apologize, everybody. It's the best I could do.
Give her a hand, everybody. Awesome.
Please don't. This is one of my worst efforts, and I feel terrible because this is such a cool book. I should have done her. I should have done fucking Hopscotch. So I probably could have sold that a lot better. But it is what it is. We'll have you on again. I'll do Hopscotch then.
Okay, perfect. We'll do.
And to Soul Ion, no one wants to hear me sing Love, so no, I will not. I refuse. I'm trying to get more subs, not lose them. All right. So, what stretch goals do you have? Do you actually have them? You have them listed.
Yes. So we hit the 5K, which was, you get 2 stickers, the Highborn and the Hellborn stickers. Very cool logos. Then the next one is the bookmarks. So you get a bookmark, hold your place in there. The next, it was a trading card. Then 12K was the poster. And if we hit 15, I'm going to upgrade the bookmarks to metal. So you'll get a nice little shiny metal bookmark. Also use as a weapon if you need to defend yourself. So
to just smack people, it'll be great. We got to get them to 15K at least, guys, because I need to smack people with a bookmark.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. So if we can get past that 20K, you get an extra trading card. We've got a couple more pages for art sections and sketches. 30K, we go perfect bound. That's always awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. And then I think the next one is, I want to offer a black and white version where it's just, I don't know if I'd want to do because the way my process is, I do rough sketches on 8.5 by 11, and then I basically blow that up and then re-ink it on 11 by 17. So I'd probably either do the inks or, I could do the rough sketches, but I'll probably do just the inks, so it's black and white.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of cool. And then if you get to 60K, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah, long way to go, but we'll see.
I mean, you never know. Crazier things have happened. So let's go over your tiers real quick so people kind of know at what level they can back you at.
Sounds good.
There we go. Featured tier. Okay. So
yep.
you've got. I'm gonna let you run with this. These are yours. You go ahead.
All right. Let's do it. So the featured perk is all 4 covers. You get all 4, and then you also get your pick of a metal print. Or no, I'm sorry. That one is the 11 by 17 print of your choice. So you'll get all 4 color covers, the regular cover, the 3 variants, and then take your pick of a print, 11 by 17, and there you go. Yeah. I found, looking at some other campaigns, these are pretty reasonable. So
yeah,
I'm glad.
Not too bad at all.
So the digital, $10. Get you the digital version. We also got the next one is just the Shadow Sentry comic, unsigned, for $20, and then $5 shipping. So 25 is the way to get the physical book. Not too bad. And then after that,
25. So wait, the 20 was the
just the book unsigned, regular cover.
Okay.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the covers when I posted them, they weren't colored, so the perk images are not colored, unfortunately. But the book will be colored.
Okay. Okay.
So.
And then 25 is having it signed.
Correct.
All right.
Get your name in the back. 25 gets you a variant cover of your choice. And I have a double deal where you get 2 of the regular covers for $40. They're both signed, so you're saving $10.
Very cool.
Then let's see, the late riser special. So you're going to get the regular cover, your choice of a variant, and then also your choice of a metal print. And then they're comic size metal prints of the covers. So take your pick. And that one's $50.
That's very cool.
Yeah, yeah. And then the double variant option, obviously, take your pick of 2 variants. If you want to do all 3 variants, all you have to do is go to checkout, and there's the add-ons, and you can add on the 3rd variant, so you get all 3 of them, and then you won't pay extra shipping on the add-on.
Okay.
So, yep. And then if you like 11x17 prints, you can get a 5-pack, all the prints, including the promotional art that I did, all 11x17. And that one, I believe, ships early, so you'll get that in June if you like.
Very cool. So you're going to get that one before everything else.
Correct. Yep.
Very cool.
So, and then I am offering sketch covers. So I have one tier for a headshot for 100. Character of your choice. It doesn't have to be Shadow Sentry. Totally up to you. There's another sketch cover perk for 200, and that'll be full body, character of your choice, and I'm also going to add on gray tone. So, and then you get a copy of the book as well for those tiers.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then one of the newest ones I added is a metal head. You get all 4 of the covers and a metal print, comic size metal print. All 4 covers, $100.
Okay, so for that, are you getting just the metal prints of the covers, or are you getting the book as well?
Just the covers for that one.
Just wanted to make sure everybody was clear that this was getting the metal prints, and if you want the book, you still got to get the book.
Yeah, and I added that one kind of on later. Maybe a few weeks ago, so it's kind of just like an add-on if somebody wants to get the metal prints.
Which is, they're really cool. If people haven't seen what those kind of metal prints are, I actually have one that is not very accessible, but they're kind of nice because it's a nice little piece of art, but it's a lot more like durable than some of these other things. Yeah,
no, it's really cool. They're really nice.
All right, and then 200.
And that was the full body sketch cover that I mentioned. So that one there. And then the next one I see, that's the Matthew Weldon original art. So he gave me a really great deal on the cover art he did for me. So he's getting a percentage of that. I'm getting, I think, $100 out of the deal, and then he gets 400 for his hard work, and you get the original art.
Very cool.
And then basically the rest of them are going to be original art pages. I have the promo art that I did for $750. Page 1 is on there, and page 2 and 3, which is a double page spread. So if you guys like original art, it's it's nice to have it. It always goes up in price, and if I make it big someday, you'll have a hefty page you could sell or something.
Yeah, no, that's actually super awesome. And obviously, if you end up not selling these, then those are always cool things that you get to like frame up in your house. And
totally.
Then when you make it big, you get to go, you could have had this, but you didn't. So now I do.
Right.
And no, these are really good tiers. These are really fun and interesting. So, okay. So tell me a little bit more about like these characters, because you have so many different looking characters.
Yeah.
How do they all come together?
So I wanted them all to look original and unique, because they're, you know, we're coming in at it where they're kind of like a newer team. So I didn't want them to have like matching uniforms and things. I want them to have like, you know, uniqueness to their ability and their personality. So Glare, she harnesses light. So it just emanates from her very being. She can just blind you. She can fight. And then also she could use her power to kind of like penetrate your mind, read your thoughts, tinker around in there, things like that. So, and then Brazen, he's the leader, second in command. There's another guy who's not pictured here. His name is Noble. He's the Commander Noble. He kind of comes in at the end of the book, so you're going to see more of him in the second book. But Brazen is the, heightened speed, agility, strength, things like that. Great fighter, and then he also harnesses this awesome glowing sword as well. Then Cogent, who's kind of like hidden in the background there. He's the muscle. He's the big guy, but that's not his power. His power is actually to control momentum, and he can kind of absorb energy and then just force it out at you. So really, really going to be fun to watch him fight and just throw people all over the place. Then we have Mitst. He's the wizardy looking dude in the cloak there. He has like this magical essence about him. Can do a lot of things, but he also he can teleport. So he's like the teleporter of the team, gets them where they need to be. And then you've got Ganon with the guns, my personal favorite. I love guns, I love gear. So he's my favorite. But he actually has not had a near-death experience, so he's not a highborn like the rest of them. He's just he's there because he has an affiliation with Noble and their military background and everything. So that's him. He's kind of like the lone wolf of the group. And then last but not least, you have Deke. He's the flying guy in the background, kind of like Cannonball, but his power is to defy the laws of gravity, defy the laws of momentum. So not only can he fly though really fast, but he can also use it to like move really fast, when he's punching or something. So can use it in a few different ways.
Okay, cool. So like they're all just so very different. So all of this is basically based on their personality, like what they kind of inherently put out already, or what they already kind of have is just amplified.
Kind of, yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Okay. So do we get into, because you said that all of these people end up getting these powers by having a near-death experience. Do we get into kind of what those are for each of them in this first issue, or is it just kind of alluded to and then later down the line we're going to hear?
Yeah, in the first story arc, they already have their powers, so we're not going to get too much into that right at the offset. But Jason is kind of like the main focus of the first story arc, so you're going to find out, about him, how he got his powers, things like that. So he has a different experience than everyone else, but it'll be fun. And then you kind of get introduced to the Shadow Sentry, and then eventually, later down the road, get more into their background stories. And like Commander Noble, he's Jason's father, so we're gonna get a glimpse into that, and probably the second story arc.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm kind of blown away by this. Like, I love this little panel right here. Obviously, this is what I made as my background, but I love this little panel and the way that it looks like she's changing the facade of it, and so it doesn't look like there's any way that her baby could be like stowed away in there.
Exactly.
Gotcha. See, smart woman.
You got it. Yeah.
I like her too. This is all very very cool and very interesting. Like I only briefly read a couple of these panels as I was getting ready for the show because I was running late. But the couple of panels, like I read this very beginning bit and I was like, I'm already hooked. I want to know what happens.
Awesome. Cool.
Very Oh, and I just realized, oh my gosh, you're clever. Lines by Eric. Colors by Carbon
Graphics. Yeah,
there you go. Carbon Graphics. I was like, can't quite read both of it, but that's really cool that you just have it like floating around in these little pages unassumingly.
And actually, so that's a tribute page from, I forget now, I think it's Uncanny 171, but Jim Lee did a panel similar where Boom Boom and Richter are kind of like running through the alleyway. So I took that thing there, and so the newspaper, flying around has the tribute, after Jim Lee, after Scott Williams and Chris Claremont. So little tribute.
All right. Well, good heavens. Why did we blow through all this so quick? It's only 20 minutes in. So I am going to ask the chat, start thinking of whatever questions you might possibly have for Eric and post them in the chat so we can start answering all of those. And yeah, like they're currently talking about in the chat. So obviously some people have a way that they feel about at least one of the cover artists that you have.
Sure.
However, if you are interested in this project and you don't feel any particular way, if you do, then great. Everybody's got their own line and their own where they're going to sit on backing. And I completely understand where some people are coming from. I will say, while I like what happened up here with the Shadow Sentry and your guy like Cannonball, like basically bursting through it, which I thought was kind of clever. I like your variant cover by Kevin Sharp, just because they all just look so badass and evil, and I love your original. Probably like those would be the two that I would most likely go for.
Cool.
But yeah, so we have one person who the Fudge wants to know, how do you feel about Nasser? Do you feel any specific way?
I don't feel anything at all for Nasser. I don't have any. I've had no experience with Nasser, and I don't even know what's going on with Nasser, to tell you the truth, man. So.
Yep, and that's one thing that that I feel like. So a lot of people are tuning into a lot of these streams because there is so many very high emotions, and there's a lot of passion because all of these people that are involved in CG and indie comics, like, you're putting your heart and soul into projects, and as a result, tensions can run very, very high. I completely understand that. I will say, I'm really happy that most of the people that I talk to and I associate with, when things like this start creeping up and start kind of hammering on people and just wearing on people, because it's so difficult to avoid a lot of these kinds of tension and tense moments. I'm so happy to see so many people around indie comics and CG that are like, you know what? I'm focused on my book. I'm focused on getting my story out there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm passionate about. If people have a problem with me, they can either talk to me about it or not, and choose not to back. That's fine. But I really love to see that that's where most of these creatives are going, and I'm happy to see that's the same place that you're kind of going. Is, hey, I'm hanging out, here to do my project, to promote my stuff, and whatever these guys over here are doing, that's what they're doing, and that's their problem.
Yeah. You kind of have to. I mean, for me personally, I have a lot of work to do, so it's like I can't watch their YouTube stream. I can't keep an eye on everybody who's doing everything, and so I kind of just focus on me, and then there's a few things I do here and there on YouTube, but I just want to create and hopefully don't piss anyone off, and make friends like you along the way. So
yep, and that's basically how it is, and I completely understand. So Art City's comment, Nasser got kicked out of the solar system. He didn't do himself a whole lot of favors. Hatch brings up a really good point. So his issue that he currently has with Miller is that he doesn't have respect for an artist who does other work but can't get his own books out. But he did make sure to point out here that he is not talking about you at all. He's just talking about that particular aspect, and that's where he draws his line. And good for you. Sure. We do have a good question from Gus Tyler Bush, who says, how can you tell the difference between Hellborn powers from the Highborn powers?
Good question. So there's a distinction where the Highborn are going to have like glare. Her power is light. So she can, harness light and things like that. So where the Hellborn, they definitely have a darker edge to him. Vengeant, he's all about fighting, and what he can do is he basically takes any rage, any anger that you come at him with while you're fighting him, and just basically, sends it right back at you. So, they're evil or they're darker. Bloodbane. I'm sorry, did you have a question?
No, you're good.
Okay. And Vengeant, Bloodbane, he has like this dark blood inside of him, which you'll find out where he gets it from, et cetera, et cetera. But he can just make weapons from it, armor, and just very, just darker, grittier. So you'll definitely be able to tell the book.
Okay, so basically it's trying to find a way to put it. Is it more like the Hellborn are kind of those kind of baser emotions that are a lot more volatile and a lot more kind of explosive and less controlled?
I'd say it's as much emotion as it is just like power, and then
Okay.
how they are as a person. Kind of like not enforces it, but makes it 10 times worse or something, if that makes sense. So they're these people are given powers, but like Captain America, he's a good heart, and so he uses his powers for good. And then you give a guy these crazy powers, and he's already a Hellborn guy. He's just gonna go crazy with it. And something actually about the characters, the background is like these guys have these powers, and then it's like they come back from the other side, and it's like they can kind of roam free, do what they want, use it for whatever purpose they have, whether it's to rob a bank or whatever, go around murdering people. But they're given a new purpose, and they rally behind this new leader. And so all these Hellborn people are now finding they have like a bigger purpose, and so it makes them a little more dangerous.
Right. So in other words, basically, like right on surface level, if you see a Hellborn and a Highborn, you're not necessarily going to know one way or another until you start to kind of see their actions and how they use their powers.
Kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay, very cool. All right, we've got chat is blowing up. You got people that really love the artwork, which is awesome. We've got Hatches saying I don't know if you paid attention to that, talking about artists' page rates and all of that. We'll talk offline about that. It's not something that I think we need to dedicate part of the stream to, but it is also good advice. So this is I do really enjoy the way that you've done these action sequences too, because I've noticed in a lot of comics you get a lot of shots where it's supposed to feel intense, and it's supposed to feel kind of like things are happening very, very quickly, and for whatever reason panels end up being very stagnated. And it's like, here's a guy who's standing, and then he's pushing or punching something or kicking, and then he's standing over someone, and it just feels really kind of stagnated. But in this, I feel like you get a good sense of movement. You get a lot of really, really good emotion in the faces and everything like that, which is another big selling point to when you have a lot of really good action going on, for sure.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I really do. I really do like this. I think that this is a very well done comic. Ooh, I like how you did the lettering too. I like the fact that you've got a little bit more creative lettering than just standard, here's a speech bubble, or here's, Krakoon, right, or whatever. Like, you have it, and so it's more kind of fitting into the entire panel and everything.
I actually did the letters on the first that are up, so I appreciate it.
Awesome. Look at you, stretching all the way through. So what all is your role on this? How much have you done? Are you just writer, cover artist? What is all you?
So I'm doing the writing. I'm doing all the interior art, the pencils and inks. I did the letters there, but we'll see if I can get to 15,000. I'm gonna hire Eric Weathers to do the lettering, because I know he'll do a great job.
Everybody does.
Yeah. So that's my goal. If I have to do it myself, I will, but don't want to. And then I have two colorists. The cover colorist who's going to do the interiors as well, but because of time constraints and it was taking him a really long time, he did the first page there that you're looking at. Obviously, he does a great job, puts a lot of effort into it, and it was just getting too much for him. So he's like, "Man, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to pass this on." So I hired another guy. He goes by Kid Icarus. Some of you may know him. He worked on Brand and I think a few other books, but does a great job. But Carbon Graphics is going to come behind him actually and just add his little touch, add some extra effects. So hopefully just kind of make it all have one great look. But yes, that's my job. I am going to have, an editor, a proofreader come in behind me, just make sure everything is top notch, make sure I didn't miss anything or something didn't, sound just right or whatever. So a team effort, but I'm doing most of the work.
That's awesome. That's really really cool. I love it when I see artists that are able to to take on an entire book. The problem is when you have one person who's trying to do everything, like,
yeah.
Unless you don't have a job and this is all that you do, like
right.
that book's going to be in production for an insanely long time. So it's always good too to see you kind of collaborate with other people and be like, yo, I'm not going to get to colors. I would really prefer to not do letters. Like, can we please, let me reach out to some people that can help me out here.
For sure.
That's awesome. Okay. So how many pages is this going to be?
It'll be 48 pages.
48 pages. So we got a 48-page comic. That is super awesome. Are you doing so you got your thank you page that's going to be back in the comic as well, and are you going to look for fan art?
Yeah, so it'll have a newsletter section, just like the comics of old, where you can have fan art, comments, and so the thank you page will actually be in that section. I did a newsletter naming contest, so somebody won that. It'll be called Into the Shows, and he'll have his there for creating it. And so and then further issues, it'll have fan art and comments and things like that. And the email will be in there, so everybody can contribute if they like.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really great. So, did you want to watch a video, or are you feeling? How are you feeling?
For what?
Do you want to watch your video?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give it a try.
Let's see if we can make this happen.
All right.
No. We're trying again.
My favorite part. Well, cool. That is pretty damn awesome. All right.
I like it.
Awesome.
Okay, so who made your video?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Great job. That was really really good.
My tablet has this, thing where you can put photos together and add effects and everything. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it. So
I liked all of your pew pew, I like the little tiny gunshots and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so Soul Ion asked a question. He wants to know, how did you get the idea to work with Kid Icarus?
Yeah, so we've known each other for, gosh, I don't know how long now, but I did this X-Men panoramic print a while back, and he wanted to color it for me, and so he sent me his colors on it. And at the time it wasn't great. And so I kept in contact with him, and he steadily grown as a colorist. And I mean, now he's doing amazing work. So we've always been in touch. He's colored some of my prints and things. But yeah, so he was kind of, after this other couldn't do it, he was kind of my first go-to, because I know he's got a very cool 90s-esque style. And so, yeah, he agreed to do it. So he's a hard worker. I know he's working on other stuff at the same time. So, but yeah, he's a great guy.
Dude, that's really awesome. And I love the fact that, see, and this is another great thing about this whole indie community, is that you have people that are trying, and that aren't exactly like, we're all learning. Everyone's learning how to do an Indiegogo campaign, how to, you know, tell a good enough story that people are actually going to want to buy your second, your third, your fourth book, all of those kinds of things. And you basically knew, you know, Kid Icarus before it was like, oh, look at how great he is. And you're like, yeah, you know, I knew him when he was okay. Like, he wasn't the best. He was right. You know, we were like, this is what you need to work on. And then he did. And now you got him. And that's awesome.
Yeah. I might have met at a convention. I try to do a lot of conventions. That's kind of like my main source of income before all this. Mm-hmm. And so I think I met him at a convention, and he was like, hey, can I color one of your things? And I was like, sure, dude. And so we've kind of kept in touch. I've seen him at other shows and everything. And so he's got a really big body work now, and he's can constantly getting better. So,
well, and that's really a testament to a lot of people who are up and coming. If there's something that you're interested in, whether it's lettering, color work, art, whatever it is, writing, this is a really great place for you to start and for you to kind of get your feet wet. There's so much talent here. And this is actually something that my tattoo artist kind of pointed out. And he said that he really liked the art community versus the tattoo community. Because tattooists, every time you meet another tattooist, it's, you're my competition. You're going to be taking food from my family's mouth. Right? But artists, you have one artist who's like, this is what I did. And other artists are like, dude, that's amazing. Oh, if I were you, I might do this or that or what. And like, it's a collaborative thing where everyone's excited to see everyone else succeed, because your art, my art, that person's art over there, none of it's the same. And if it is, then one of us sucks somewhere, because your art should always be a reflection of you. And none of us have had the same kind of backgrounds. None of us have had the same kinds of experiences. And we don't all like the same stuff, which is why art is so subjective. So I like the fact that you kind of ushered him in and was like, yeah, no, keep on going, keep on coloring and, you know, improving. And then before you know it, you're like, yeah, no, actually you're where I think you're good enough and I want you on my project. Like, that's got to have been a huge ego boost.
Yeah, I hope so. But hopefully he knows he's already, but he's come a long way for sure.
That's so cool. That's very, very cool.
So.
Oh, well, are there any other questions in the chat? I don't think I've missed any yet. Trying to look at everything that we've got done.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
I look like Kurt Angle.
There you go.
I'm not familiar with WWE, so I'm going to have to look him up.
Yeah, I do like I watch WWE. I'm still not sure who the hell he's talking about, to be honest. But that's because I paid more attention to the chicks and the pretty, you know, boys and whatever.
Right.
We've got Rosetta was talking about, she's really retro in her art style. Soul, I almost know if I'm going to be in Midsummer too. You're so sweet, sweetheart. Arch wants to know how neither of us seem to know who Kurt Angle is.
Sorry. I'm not a big wrestling fan. I used to be. Well, even when I would watch wrestling, it was like Hulk Hogan, you know, Undertaker days.
Hogan was my man.
Yeah. I remember that one where he's like cut up, he was bleeding, and he had the American flag behind him. That was like, I'm done. You got me. You know, like, that's my favorite wrestling memory. But, you know, I got more into 80s cartoons, and that was it.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. And in all honesty, I was like I'm more into like the really quirky collaborations and stuff. Obviously, I like Becky Lynch because she's a ginger and she's awesome. But I liked her. I liked New Day, which just because they're absolutely fucking insane. But that, I mean, that's kind of it. There's not a lot in WWE that I've been paying attention to.
Yeah. So I got introduced to UFC a while back when I first moved to California. Some of my friends were heavily into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Gosh, that's hard to say. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And so my one friend gave me like tons of UFC tapes, and I kind of got into that for a while and watched like 1 to 20 or something. So that was fun because it's a little more real. People get knocked out. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. So I didn't appreciate wrestling until I got older, and I realized that wrestling is just men's soap operas. I was like, I can get behind that. That's fair. But like I grew up doing various kinds of martial arts and stuff, and so I never understood like UFC is just look at how good I can fight and just trying to bloody the other person. Boxing is look at how good I can fight without fighting well. Because of the way that they hold everything. I was like, this is the worst possible way for you to come at somebody and to protect yourself. I don't even get it. It's ridiculous. And then wrestling, I was like, it's all fake. And then once I was like, oh, they know it's all fake. And I was like, well, wait, let me look at it a little bit more. I was like, okay, it's at least funny and entertaining sometimes.
Yeah.
I go through cycles of it because I started watching like the reality shows behind the scenes, and it ruined it. Because I was like, oh, now I know that you seem like a sweet person, but you're actually a son of a bitch. Like, oh, I can't root for you anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God. Apparently our whole stream is invalid. And
sorry, man.
Me and disavow. And but Hatch at least is like AEW's better, so this is we lost all of our viewers, I'm sure. I'm sorry, everybody.
Sorry, guys. Opinions.
If you're really into wrestling, go talk to Lazzy, go talk to Angie. There's quite a few people actually in CG that love all of this WWE, AEW. There's another one that I can't recall off the top of my head, but it's Japanese, and it's like the Japanese version of WWE, and it's fucking amazing.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, right? Because they just take everything to the extreme, and it's just so interesting to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to why we're here. So Shadow Sentry, you have 11 days left, 274 backers already. We are already well past funded, which is awesome. If you are interested, yes, thank you, Lazzy. That's who else it was. Edwin the Ace Acevedo is the other one. If you really like wrestling, you want to check out awesome wrestling stuff, that would be the person to definitely go and check. But yeah, so if you are interested in backing a super awesome comic, Shadow Sentry has, I just removed it from stream. There we go. 11 more days. Are you going in demand?
I am going to go in demand, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So it'll be up for a bit longer. There's a lot of really cool covers that you can get. Metal prints. I really want to see this get up to a metal bookmark because metal bookmarks are just better. I ruin the other ones or lose them, but a metal one I would keep track of. And if someone pisses me off while I'm reading, I'm going to use it as a weapon.
There you go.
It'll be great. Yep. It needs to happen.
Yeah,
so definitely.
I'm pretty confident by the end of by the time I close it, we'll reach 15. That's my ultimate goal. That was kind of my goal from the beginning. I knew if I could reach 10,000, like I could do the book, but if I couldn't get 10,000, then it'd be like, I have to support my family. So I couldn't just be working for 4 or 5 months without any income. So, but I think 15 will be great. And then that'll kind of give me the money I need to do the book and pay everybody. And then I can hire Eric Weathers to do letters. So
absolutely. Make your life a little bit easier.
Heck yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of really great tiers. If you're really into original art, there's still a bunch of original art that's available that you can still purchase, which is super awesome. I'm sure that by the time you close, you're not going to still have original art just sitting up here because that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
So if you are into original art, definitely you've got a chance to own some really, really cool pages here. And I honestly, I'm sold. I think that this looks amazing. I'm gonna get this cover right here. This Kevin Sharp cover is happening. I might have to get
Nice.
one where I get that in the metal print or something.
All right. Cool.
But
I think there might actually be an add-on perk where you can add on a metal print of your choice too. So
ooh, there's all kinds of nice little add-ons here.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any last minute plugs that you would like to give?
No, although I know gosh, what is it? I think it's Jack Irons is a book that's closing. It's got, maybe 16 hours left. I was checking out this morning and I just wanted to plug it because it looks really awesome and you get 3 books for $25. So I backed it this morning and so check that out if you like. It's like a sci-fi space Western, I believe.
Yep. So. We've had Cody on to talk about it before, and I can't agree more. It's if you've missed out on books 1 and 2, this is book 3. So he's been doing this for a while, and this is a really, really good book it's very well written, and the art is absolutely beautiful. It's in danger of not getting funded. It's got less than 24 hours, and they still need just under $2,000. So
yeah.
Go back it if you haven't. If you like weird space west sci-fi mashups, it's very, very well done, and it's definitely deserving of more support. So go back Jack Irons. Obviously, go back Shadow Sentry. We still got 11 days on this, but let's make sure we support as much of our indie community as we can. And thank you so much for coming on, Eric. It was really great talking to you.
Very cool. Thank you so much for having me on.
Our chat got crazy and just devolved into wrestling.
So,
thanks to the chat anyway, despite the fact that we got horribly off topic and none of us stuck to what we needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you were great. So please go back Shadow Sentry, and we will catch you guys later. Thanks. Peace.